about runway length, we have to first discuss about the basic runway length. If you want to design or determine the proper or required runway length for proper takeoff and landing operation, we have to first understand the basic runway length or the runway length that is prescribed by some uh, aviation organization with some ideal condition. That is, the ideal conditions are airport altitude at sea level. That means the elevation of the airport at zero. That means sea level. The assuming some ideal conditions means these are the ideal conditions. First condition is that the airport is situated at sea level or the elevation of the airport is zero. Next condition is the temperature at airport is standard. Standard temperature should be prevailed on the airport area, and that standard temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Next, runway is leveled in the longitudinal direction. That means there is no slope through the runway. Throughout the runway, there is no slope. The runway is leveled. Next, no wind is blowing on the runway. That means there is no wind coming from any of the direction. And last one is the aircraft is loaded to its maximum loading capacity. That means this basic runway length is actually defined with some aircraft loaded with maximum loading capacity means maximum with maximum factor of safety. We are defining the basic runway length. These are the ideal condition at which we can define the basic runway length, and obviously the basic runway length is an ideal concept in any of the airport. These ideal conditions are not prevailing throughout the airport. That's why we have to change or we have to make the correction to find out the actual runway length for proper takeoff and landing operation of aircraft. These are the ideal conditions, but practically these ideal conditions are not prevailed. That's why these basic runway length, the conditions for basic runway length are given, and in the next part, that is to calculate the actual runway length. From the basic runway length, we have to calculate the actual runway length. We have to take all these ideal conditions in our mind to calculate the actual runway length. Now coming to the next part, that is the calculation of actual runway length. In that, we can understand the actual interpretation of all these ideal conditions. Now the question is that basic runway length. What is actually the basic runway length? Basic runway length is actually considering or assuming these five conditions. The basic runway length, a given length of runway, given length of runway, that means for any problem or for any practical case, you will be given that basic runway length, assuming or considering these five ideal conditions. That is the definition of basic runway length. But that idealization is not practical. That's why we have to make the correction for the calculation of actual runway length. Now, for actual runway length, the calculation of actual runway length, we have to make the correction for elevation, for temperature, and for gradient. Now, again coming to the ideal conditions, there are first three conditions. One is the airport is at altitude sea level. That is not possible in most of the cases. That's why elevation correction is required. In the first ideal condition, the airport elevation is zero, but most of the cases the airport elevation cannot be zero. That's why elevation correction is required. Next, for number 2, the condition is given that the temperature of the airport is standard. That means standard temperature is considered for basic runway length, that is 15 degrees Celsius. But obviously, in most of the cases, airport temperature cannot be at standard temperature, and that's why the temperature correction is required. Next, the gradient correction, as the runway cannot be leveled in most of the cases. In most of the cases, there must be a slight slope. At least a slight slope must be there. That's why this gradient correction is required. That means the first three ideal condition is the most important conditions for which we have to make the correction. Now, for wind and for the loading condition, these may be prevailed in the airport area. That means for wind, obviously, if there is there the we have discussed about the calm wind. That calm wind is actually not considered as wind is blowing. That's why after that value of wind, we have discussed some ranges of wind, and after 60 km per hour range, if the wind velocity is 60 km per hour, sorry, after that we are considering non-operation of aircraft. That means no wind is blowing, means after that range of velocity of wind, that is no, if the wind velocity is greater than that 60 km per hour, we will consider that there is a wind which is blowing throughout the airport, and at that condition aircraft cannot be operated. And obviously the aircraft is loaded to its maximum loading capacity, that is not for basic runway length but also for uh, the economic condition also. That's why aircraft are tried to make fully loaded with passengers and with goods, obviously. That's why these last two conditions there is no correction, but first three conditions, for these three conditions, obviously there are three corrections respectively. One is elevation correction, one is temperature correction, and one is gradient correction. Now, before coming to the corrections, the steps to perform the corrections, uh, I can say that one thing that is important, that is, I have already told that a value of basic runway length is always given for any airport. For any airport or any uh, condition, the basic runway length is given. On that we have to make the correction. If the length of basic runway is given as x, on x we have to do these three corrections: elevation correction, temperature correction, and gradient correction. Now we are coming to the corrections. First of all, there is a correction for elevation, and civil aviation organization. About this, we have discussed in the last class. ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. This organization is given one prescribed formula or prescribed equation for correction of elevation, and that formula or equation is that for increase of 300 meter from elevation, from mean sea level, that is from zero mean sea level, that means zero elevation, each increment of 300 meter you have to increase 7% on the basic runway length. That means if the basic runway length is x, then you have to increase 7% on x for per 300 meter of rise in elevation. That means if first 300-meter rise, that means if the elevation of an airport area is 300 meter, then obviously 7% will be increased on x. That means 107 by 100, that means 1.07x will be the required length of runway for 300-meter elevation. And after that, obviously, we have to calculate for each 300 meter with 7% increment of length. This is the prescribed equation or prescribed formula for increment for elevation. Now coming to the temperature correction. Now what is the prescribed value of temperature correction is that 1% increase of basic runway length for every 1 degree Celsius. The red marked area, you should give more stress on that. That is 1% for every 1 degree Celsius rise of airport reference temperature. Airport reference temperature, we will discuss on that. That is airport reference temperature. Now, uh, in the ideal conditions, there is one temperature is given, that is 15 degrees Celsius. Obviously, the airport reference temperature, if airport reference temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, obviously the increase rise of temperature is 30 minus 15 degrees Celsius, that is 15 degrees Celsius. Or if the airport reference temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, then 20 minus 15 degrees Celsius, that is 5 degrees Celsius, is the rise of temperature. Now, one question you should ask, that is what is airport reference temperature? We are coming to the airport reference temperature after all the discussion of these corrections. Okay. Now, and one more important thing is that these temperature correction must be performed after the correction for elevation. After the correction for elevation, that means uh, on x, the elevation correction is imposed. That is for example of 7% increment on 300-meter elevation, that is 1.07x. On that 1.07x, we have to make the correction for this temperature, for this rise of temperature. Okay, that means first of all we have to do the elevation correction, then on the corrected value after elevation correction we have to do the temperature correction. And this one, I think you have the idea about this one, that is the increase or decrease of temperature with elevation. The rate of decrease of standard atmospheric temperature is 0.0065 degrees Celsius per meter rise of elevation. About this you have studied in physics. When elevation increases, obviously the temperature will decreases, and uh, per I think you have studied that per 100-meter rise of uh, elevation, the temperature will decrease 0.665 or 0.7 degrees Celsius. Or maybe you have studied that for 1 kilometer uh, rise of elevation or at a height of 1 kilometer, the temperature will decrease 7 degrees Celsius. These standard value we have studied, I think, that is 7 degree Celsius decrement of temperature for 1 kilometer rise or 1 kilometer height from the earth surface. That you have studied in physics, and that is actually 0.065. Precisely this value is there. 0.0065 degrees Celsius temperature decreases when 1 meter rise of elevation occurs. And in the calculation, in the numerical calculation, you have to put this value when required. Okay, you have to remember this value 0.0065 degrees Celsius per meter rise of elevation. Now, after elevation correction and temperature correction, first of all, you have to add the total correction in percentage. Total correct or add or you have to calculate total correction, total increase of percentage on runway length, basic runway length. You have to calculate. If the value is lesser than 35%, that means total correction of elevation and temperature correction is 35% on basic runway length. If the value is less than 35%, obviously we can go for next correction. But if the value is greater than 35%, then we have to stop making corrections and we have to take the value of 35% increase of basic runway length. If this value is greater than 35%, we have to stop up to 35%. But if the correction is lesser than 35% on basic runway length, obviously we can go for further correction of gradient. And gradient correction for gradient is done after the correction of elevation and temperature. Obviously, for elevation and temperature correction, you have to stop up to 35%, and if there is little chance of gradient correction, then you can go for gradient correction. And after correction of elevation and temperature, we can further increase at a rate of 20% for every 1% effective gradient. That means if there is slope in the runway, each 1% of effective gradient, we have to increase the runway length of 20%, and that these increase will be on the corrected value of elevation and temperature, corrected value after elevation and temperature correction. Okay, and there is one definition is there, that is what is effective gradient. And effective gradient is nothing but the difference of elevation between highest point and lowest point on the runway divided by the total length of the runway. And this total length of the runway is actually the corrected runway length after elevation and temperature correction. Okay, this is up to the correction. Three corrections. One is for elevation, another is for temperature, and last is for gradient correction. Now, coming to the airport reference temperature. Now, coming to the airport reference temperature. Airport reference temperature is nothing but there is one equation that is given, empirical equation that is given, that is mean of the average daily temperature. I'll describe the terms. First of all, please try to understand the equation. I'll describe the term. Mean maximum daily temperature minus mean of the average daily temperature divided by 3. Now the question is that where from where you can find these things, that is mean average daily temperature, maximum daily temperature, all these things. For all these things you have to given sorry, you have to have the uh, temperature data for a specific time span. Mean average daily temperature means average temperature, the you have to take some values of average daily temperature and you have to make the mean of all the data. Mean of maximum daily temperature means you have to take some maximum daily temperature and make the mean. Okay, max average daily temperature means you have to take the temperature data throughout the day. You have to take the temperature data throughout the day and make the average. And maximum daily temperature means you have obviously from the data of daily temperature you have to find out the maximum temperature of a day. And in both the cases you have to make the average to find out the mean. Okay, and this minus this divided by 3. This is one empirical equation to determine the airport reference temperature is given. And for the calculation of this airport reference temperature, obviously will be given some airport data, airport temperature data or daily temperature data for any region where airport is going to be constructed. In that area, for that area, the temperature data minimum for 1 month, minimum for 1 month you will be given, and from that you will able to calculate these value. Okay, okay, up to this, is there any query?